Welcome back to Signals on 91.3. This morning, we'll be looking at growing our businesses strategically. Well, I have with me a seasoned and dynamic managing partner at Point of View. Point of View Consulting is highly respected authority in empowering businesses to unlock their true potentials and achieve remarkable success. Signals Marketplace would continue next week, Saturday, 10 to 10:15. Now, empowering businesses to unlock their true potential and achieve remarkable success, bringing a wealth of experience and expertise to the table. His versatile background includes significant accomplishments as a keynote speaker, author, serial entrepreneur, and business coach, all of which have contributed to his strong industry reputation. Drawing on his extensive expertise in strategic management, business development, and leadership coaching, he guides businesses and companies in navigating complex market landscapes and driving sustainable growth. His academic achievements, highlighted by an esteemed alumni status at Harvard Business School, have equipped him with a deep understanding of cutting-edge business theories and best practices, enabling him to provide tailored, innovative strategies to meet each client's unique needs. His role as a business coach has helped numerous organizations globally not only overcoming their challenges, but also to thrive in competitive environments through targeted coaching sessions and enhances leadership capabilities, improves teams dynamic, and fosters culture of continuous improvement. I have with me, so I'm laughing. I'll tell you why I'm laughing. It signals on 91.3, and we have our guest, Larry, and yes, Larry Adewole, a business coach. And why am I laughing? I'm laughing because I know that 2 weeks ago, somebody had accosted me and said, "Oh, Oshodi, you need a business coach," and I'm wondering, okay. And it was just a random conversation, and this leads me to how do we grow our businesses strategically? Welcome to Signals.
Hi, thank you for hosting me today. And it's a great pleasure to be on your show. Even though I'm in New York and it's like
The
5
time zone
a.m.
is
out here. Yeah,
crazy.
so we're here. We're here. It's good to be on the show.
No problem.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
So how do we grow our businesses? We're discussing business development, growing your businesses strategically.
Okay. So I think we need to understand the word growing business,
Mm,
because a lot of people used to mix it up that growing business is all about sales. So it's not
mm,
just about sales or just start business and start selling.
mm,
It's a range of activities, that you have to do, aimed at driving growth and creating sustainable business practices for your business. You understand what I'm saying? So let me just give you an analogy. So, for example, you gain an admission. So there's still processes you need to do. Okay, you go to school, you go to the admin block, you go to this hostel. So there's a lot of practices you need to go and you need
mm,
to grow with. All right. So, and I think when it comes to Lagos, all right, let me just give Lagos as an example.
mm,
So it is very, very important, you know, for anyone to put their business together to understand the structure, the activities
mm,
that is aimed at driving growth, especially in
mm,
a vibrant economy, and a diverse market like Lagos. So, and for example, and I'm just going to make this point,
mm.
Lagos itself or Nigeria itself, there's a lot of opportunities in Nigeria. So, but you need to put your business in good places. You need to structure your business. And I'm going to be talking about maybe much later. I'm going to talk
Yeah.
about the structures and the processes you need to go through
Let's even start
to
with
put your
that.
business
Let's
in
even
place.
start with that because most times people say that, oh, your business do not have a structure. And sometimes it's either it's English or you just don't understand. What would what would you say that a business has that you will call structure?
Okay. So, there are some step-by-step processes,
Yes.
the process of developing your business is a structure of which
Mm,
people need to know. And I know quite a number of people, I live in Nigeria before now. And I can tell you, the business practices we have in Nigeria is different from what we have in the Western world. They
True.
understand the structure. You understand? That's what keeps a country like America afloat. That's what keeps businesses over 100 years. You
Mm.
hear this business, McDonald's, been years, and you hear a business, for example, maybe they just started 10 years ago, and maybe something happened to the owner, and maybe the person died, and the business dies too. So because
Nice.
there's no structure in place. So I'm just going to give you the
Go
step-by-step
ahead. Go
process.
ahead.
So first of all, we talk about the research and analysis. A lot of people used to, they just think about a business idea, no research, no
Mhm.
analysis, nothing. They just say, okay, my friend did it, boom, they just started running it. You
Mm.
understand? So maybe he's lucky, he did it and it worked, and he
Well,
doesn't even have structure. So if something just happened in the business, it will just drop out because there's no research. They didn't, they don't conduct thorough research. I don't know if you know about what they call the SWOT,
yes.
the tools
Strength,
like SWOT,
weakness.
yes. So assessing the strength, the weakness, the opportunities, and even the threat, then identifying them. So that when it happens after 10 years, you already identify
You're
these things,
ready.
then you tackle them because you're already ready for them. All
Mm.
right. So another part, after the research and analysis, the other part is the strategy development.
Mm.
So now you already done all the research and the analysis. You already have the data. So now once you have all the data of what could go wrong, so now the question will now be, how do you translate that into actionable strategies?
Mm.
You understand what I'm saying? So what are actionable strategies? It's okay. Now I've done the research. They said um they said these are the worst thing that goes into business. They said this, they said that. You already know all these things. So now you
Mm.
can ask, okay, how can I do the other part, which is implementation? All right. So once you have done your research, you already done your strategy. Now, time to implement. So when it comes to implementation in businesses, people really get it wrong most times. You understand what I'm saying? Especially when they start their businesses, they often delegate. Maybe they just come up with the idea and all that. The next thing they just employ somebody and say, okay, are you run it for me? All right. So they don't have the direct link of implementation. So they understand the structure of that business. You understand? So now, once you have the strategy in place, now execution. You have to develop a clear, I tell people it's very, very important, a clear action plan. And you have to hold your team accountable. So what are your team? You have to delegate some parts and you follow the main part. So you have to say, okay, who is in charge of finances? Who is in charge of this? Who is in charge of marketing? When you start small, maybe you want to be the marketer, you want to be the salesperson, but still yet, it's very, very important if you can afford it. And I think labor is not that expensive in Nigeria. So if it depends on your budget, you can now say, okay, I want to pay this person 250K, do this, get professionals to do these things for you. All right, don't just say you want to, if you can do it from the beginning, and that's for implementation. So now we now talk about the KPIs. So once you have done the implementation, you now need to put a KPI in place. That is key performance indicators. You want to understand your customer acquisition cost. How
Mm.
much does it cost to acquire one customer? Some people don't have all this. Some people don't even have the data of their customers. All right. Even some hairstylists, they don't even have the number of their customer or whatever. As small as that is, you want to understand the lifetime value of a customer. So if this customer is coming every week to my shop, even if you have a shop in Yaba or something, so if this customer is coming, if I can convince this customer to be buying from me every month, okay, for the next 2 years or 3 years, how much will I make from this customer?
Mm.
You understand what I'm saying? So it's
Yeah.
very, very important. So now conversion rates. You want to gauge the effectiveness of your conversion rate. Where are you coming? Where are you bringing your customers from? All right. So where are customers coming from? Is it that there's one guy that used to say, guys, go to this place, or maybe on a show like this, maybe when people call and they say, okay, I'm calling or I got your number from this show, so you know
Referrals.
that this show is
Mm.
the biggest rate of my conversion. So now you can ask, okay, now let me call.
Oshodi.
Oshodi and say, okay, how can you help me push it more and I can pay for the advert? You understand what I'm saying? And that's the point. That's the point you need to go through. That's the process you need to go through for you to be able to push your business. Then that's when you now say you have a good business, not just waking up, setting up a business and say, okay, hopefully God will make it work. Yes, God will make it work, but God still understands structure. You understand? So it's very, very important. Even, for those who are Christians, they understand that the Noah Ark was built and God gave them all the numbers. Okay, make sure size by size and all that. So it's very, very important to put structure in place in your business. So that's my take on that. Yeah.
Now, you spoke about the lifeline of a customer. That's quite interesting. Tell us more about it.
Okay, so when you talk about the lifeline of a customer, all right.
Yes.
So now there are some customers. Let me give you an example now. There are some when you acquire a customer, you want to first understand that, okay, how much does it cost me each time a customer buy from me? So now if you're my customer now and I sell stuff worth, let's just say 5,000 naira, that's what I sell. And my gain there is like, let's say 500 naira. You understand? So that's 10%. That's my gain. So now I want to understand that, okay, if you keep buying that stuff from me, all right, how much would I have made from you as an individual in the next lifeline of dealing with you? You understand? Saying so now, if I'm making, for example, if I'm making, let's say, 500 per each time you buy, maybe you used to come and eat. Let's just say restaurant, for example. You understand what I'm saying? So now you buy almost every week from me. You understand? You come around, you eat whatever the food is. So now, if I'm going to calculate it, maybe you eat every day, not even every week now, every day, then I'm going to calculate how much will I make from this person for the next, let's just say 5 years, cap. Okay, for the next 5 years, how much would I have made from this person? So that's when I know that, okay, this person, I've been able to, the value of this customer is very, very important. So now I have to sustain this customer. There are some customers that comes, maybe they buy from me once and they never show up again. I even have this thing I always tell, new business owners that I call it the 2-to-1. So the 2-to-1 with acquiring customer is like, each time you have two customers coming, maybe one customer come to your shop, another person come to your shop. So now all you need is, out of those two, if you can convince one of them to come back again and buy, that means you are doing something right. You can say, okay, you know what, I'm sacrificing one, let the one go. But you see the second one comes, guess what? That means your business is moving. You understand? Because getting a recurring customer is very, very important in business. You understand? You don't want somebody to buy and go and never come back again. Then you're not really making business. You want the value of that customer coming back again. Coming back. That's what makes you rich, because you have subscribers.
Recurring customers.
It's very, very important to business. So if you have a business and none of your customer comes back, they just buy and go, buy and go. That's why you see for example, let me give another example. If a salon open in an area, everybody, or maybe a restaurant, everybody start going one time, and when they come, I'm not come back again. I'm not coming. Then you just hear that the salon just shut down, because the thing is, they don't understand that the lifetime value of a customer. You understand? That's why some people really want to hear back from the customer that, okay, if I get your data and you tell me that, see, when I heard the thing burnt me on my throat, another person say, instead of you saying, no, and they are just lying, it's up to you. The business is going to shut down. So, so when you understand that and they tell you, listen, this is what we are feeling, then that's okay. They're feeling this. That's why sometimes you get a consultant and that's okay. This is what my customers are going through. This time they come and eat in my place, something is burning them on their throat. Or maybe you get a business coach and you tell them this is what is happening, and they say, okay, can we try this out? That's when we now go through we now go back to your let's just say research and analysis. That means you go back to the foundation. You understand? So it's always good. You now say, okay, so what is wrong? Then we now start it. Then when we are done, we now do strategy development.
Okay.
All right. Then we now implement again. So it's very, very important.
If you say strategy development, what does it mean? Now, because you started to use saloon, and I like that's easy. Everybody's going to make their hair. Really, salon. That's even very good because when you go and make your hair and they need to put your hair inside hot water, you're wondering, see, don't allow that hot water to touch you.
Uh-huh.
That so
Okay.
how then do we develop our businesses? Because you talked about strategy development, and sometimes it can be very wordy, and you don't understand that you're already doing it. Tell us
Mm.
more about that.
Yeah, so I that's why I brought it down to the law. You understand? I
Mm.
don't want to because I consult for, some major organizations, right here in New York. They're quite big. So that's why I make sure I'm talking
Oh
about
yeah,
saloon
yeah.
and restaurant.
See, come to Nigeria.
Yes.
Leave
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah. Actually,
because
actually,
you know
I'm
why?
actually.
Some
Mm,
some would some know they're already doing it, but they don't know that that's what they're doing, and some don't even know at all. Right? I've had series of businesses call this morning to sell their businesses, and you can tell sometimes from the pitch of their businesses they're very excited about it. For other times they're just we don't let's just do it. Right. So
mm.
how then do we sort of what your business is still working? It just needs a little tweak here and there.
Mm. So, okay. So now that's what, like, let me continue. So when I
Yeah.
was saying, I said that's why I make sure all the examples I'm making, I'm not talking about Dangote or something. I'm talking about the basics of businesses. That
Mm.
everybody. So some people are just lucky that they say my grandfather gave me this business and he explained some things to me. Those explanations are still something that's been researched on. So now when you talk about hot water, somebody, so that it
Yeah,
doesn't
trying to
burn you
put
in the
my hair.
salon. Okay, for example, that is where some people get it right and they say, "Ah, this thing has burnt," or people are scared of this thing. So what then that's where we now go to research. All
Mm.
right. So let's just make it basic because if
Yes.
it's big major company now, research will be a major thing. So research could
Yeah.
just be going to saying that, okay, what are people using? What are looking at other salons in the Western world and say, okay, what do they use so that people will not be scared? Maybe some rubber they'll put on the neck,
Mm.
some stuff like that that it will not burn. You
Neck
just put your
neck
hair and
covers.
yeah, neck covers. Then you already saw that. Then you've
Mm.
done your research and analysis so that it doesn't burn people. Or YouTube, you go to YouTube, you research and you see that that's research analysis. You understand? So your budget is $0, you zero naira, sorry. Compared to an organization, maybe a major organization that their budget might be one
That has a
million or whatever.
department.
You know, you understand what I'm saying? So yours is $0. All you need is maybe burn data. Go to YouTube, search, and say, okay, how can I save my customer from being burnt while I'm making their hair? You see this stuff. Then now you already have the idea, right?
You
Research
go
and
to Alaba.
analysis. You've already analyzed it. So now strategy development. Okay, now this morning I'm taking the bus, going to Alaba, buying this thing. That's your own strategy. You buy it,
Mm.
then you have it. Then now implementation. When customer comes,
You can use it for them.
simple.
Mm.
So you don't have to forget about the big grammar. You understand what I'm
Mhm.
saying? But that's just the basic way how it works. All right. Because the better you are at your business, the more you are able to retain customers. People really don't understand the power of retaining customers. You understand? Like that this month, this customer is going to pay this amount. You understand? That's the lifetime value of it. It's going to pay this amount. It's going to come and make her hair maybe 2 times a month. You understand? So you already know that, okay, I'm making, I don't know how much you're making, maybe like 100,000 or whatever. But whatever the amount is, you know that I'm retaining this customer,
Attachment is not
be it
very
as it may.
expensive.
So, but you know that you are retaining this customer, you are going to make money from this customer, be it as it may. And that is the point. All right. Our ability to retain customer. You understand what I'm saying? So very soon we are actually going to we are already working on considering Nigeria and actually helping a lot of businesses in Nigeria. And that's one thing we are looking at. And by God's
Because
grace, we should be able to do it.
when you say retaining customers, I'm seeing numbers, right? The question is because everything is expensive. Everything is really, really expensive. Like I think there was one day I wanted to buy granuts. I
Mhm.
noticed that 20 naira, if you want to buy granite, 20 naira granite is fine. But that 20 naira granite then is much more than the 100 naira granite inside Lilo. If you go to
Mm.
the Malam, is 100 naira, and you can count how many pieces of granite that is inside. And the hand is very plenty. And you're looking at how we can still retain customers in these times that we're in, where people are trying to save more as against spending more. Before it's more expensive to eat outside than cooking.
Mm. Hmm.
Now it's more reliable to eat outside than prepare food in the house. So how then do we sort of create a balance in in, in this in these trying times that Nigeria is in?
All right. So when it comes to retaining customers, especially when inflation kicks in, trust me, most of your customers understand what's happening. All right. So, and one thing you don't want to do is you don't want to, you know, destroy your business model. You don't want to
Okay.
go broke while trying to, you know, retain customers or probably um what's the name, trying to serve your customers. So my own take is how we've been able to do it, even if we are trying to, anytime we try to increase our price and all that, is letting the customers know, because sometimes it's all about heart to heart talk. All right, because if you have a data, so that's where data is very, very important. Data of your customers. Some people say, I don't need data. Some people do it, some people don't do it. It's very, very important. Even if you are selling, maybe amala or whatever, maybe, it now depends on the industry or whatever. You can actually get data. Data could just be phone number and a name. You
Yes.
understand what I'm saying? So when you make a policy change, there's email marketing. It's easy now. There's a lot of data marketer. You can even do it yourself. All right. Shooting emails to people. All right. We are revising our price due to inflation. So now, instead of even doing too much of grammar, you can still keep the price and make the stuff smaller, just like you said. Instead of just drop the
Biscuit
price.
companies, biscuit companies will not tell you they're increasing. They'll just be removing one strand of.
Yeah, it pays them more to retain the customer, because the truth is, now if you are doing like three fishes in that sardine whatever, you know
It's down to sometimes it's
just
one.
remove one. Yeah, just remove. And the thing is, people will not complain because at least they're buying it. The ability, that you now adding more pricing. Sometimes it drags them away. So
You
it
don't get
depends. So when
value
we
for
talk about
money.
services now,
Yes. If
yes, you
not,
might not really get value for money. So when it comes to services, it's totally different, because service business is different. So now now it's all about talking to the customer, trying to explain to them that, see, listen, because of how things work and the things we are meant to buy, this is how we are going to be changing our price. All right.
mm,
So now sometimes you can actually it now depends on the customer. So if you have a 10 years customers, you have this customer for the last 10 years and they've been consistent. You can tell them, you know what, I understand this in this period. So what we can do is, what I'm going to charge you for 1500, like 1500 naira for, let's do it this way. I can actually give you a discount. All right. Just only you. All right. They feel more special. It doesn't understand me. Oh, he's selling it 1500 for everybody. But guess what? He gave me like, a cheaper rate, maybe like 1002. They make
1,003.
even that. No, 1003. They feel more connected. Don't worry. I understand. Don't worry. Some of them might even say, don't worry, don't worry. I'll still pay the 1005. Thank you so much. They understand. They feel
You have
more
empathy
like
towards
intimate.
them.
Yes, yes. And guess what? They will be your loyal customer. And that's one thing. So that's where that's how you are able to sustain that. So, but when it comes to product, that's when I say, instead of sometimes, you can actually shoot a mail to your customer or tell some of your customer that, okay, you are increasing price. Some of them might
Mm.
run away. You understand? Because you might have a competitor. With competitor, with all he needs to do is just remove one strand of fish, and he will sell cheaper than you. And you don't want your competitor to be cheaper than you. You understand? In that sense. So, but
Mm.
another thing now is all about value. Value is
Value.
very, very important. So if it
Hold
depends
on.
on the value you approach. All right.
We'll just hold on. The signals on 91.3. We're discussing growing businesses strategically with Larry J. Adewole is a business coach. If you have questions, comments, you can send us a WhatsApp message 0809 234 5913. If you're struggling with the business and you don't know what to do, call us, ask him question 0809 191 3913 or 0201 5151 913. Send us a WhatsApp message 0809 234 5913. Back to you, Jay. You're talking about value.
Yeah. Value. Value is very, very important. And I was also going to say something that I think I missed earlier. You know, for businesses, you understand what I'm saying? So it depends on your marketing strategy sometimes.
Okay.
All right. So marketing strategy. Okay, for example, there's one, I don't want to call the name, there's one noodle company, in Nigeria that's so popular. Even in their country, they're not as popular as they are in Nigeria. All right. Because, and guess what? They've already you know, they
They
already
become kings
catch
in the market.
in that market. Even there's one noodle company that tried to, it belongs to one of the richest person, and it couldn't even compete with the person with that
Mm.
brand, because the truth is they've done good marketing campaign. They've targeted, you know, the
Everybody.
kids, and they,
Everybody. Oh.
and even everybody. No, they started with the kids, and it got into
Kids.
people, and people
Yeah.
can even. It now becomes. It's now something like, it's more like in the level of Gary now, that you need it in your life.
It
You
is
understand? It doesn't
it's
even need to market.
like look at
You
in the
understand what I'm
house, the
saying?
next thing you want to eat.
Yeah.
Mm.
So, and marketing strategy is also very, very important. So if you have a good marketing strategy, you understand, trust me, people, even in this economic downturn and everything is good, people still buy. You
Yeah.
understand? They will still buy because they would understand that, oh, this is what you're trying to sell. You understand? We did a research some times back, you know, on with one organization like that. You understand? It's actually a men's, body, like roll-ons and all that, right here in the United States. And I can tell you for free, they sold a lot of copies, because
Mm.
sometimes people really want people that look like them. People that are like them, what are they using?
Yeah.
So it's very, very important to understand the strength of marketing, the
Mm.
strength of social media campaigns.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? Even if you are selling small, small things, I know social media campaign is 1,005, or a brand like this, where you market your stuff you can discuss and say, okay, Oshodi, I want to market my product,
Mm.
and they come to your show. You do an advert. Guess what?
Mm.
A lot of people are going to buy, because a lot of people here, they are mostly business owners. All right. So that means you are selling product to businesses, and you cannot be on this show to do a little bit of marketing to your brand. I don't know.
Mm. Now, again about value, how then do we pricing? Now, so there is pricing and there's quality of products and service. Because some are saying that so example is biscuits. The quality of biscuit that I would like has reduced, but I'm paying more for the same, I'm paying more for less. Do you understand? So instead of 5 slices of biscuits, is now 4, and I'm still paying 100 naira, and I'm going to see 3 slices of biscuits.
Mm.
Quality and value, quality and pricing. How do we sort of balance it?
Okay. So now there's, when it comes to quality and value,
Yes.
you understand? Quality is quality. That means you have good quality biscuits.
Hmm.
When you eat it, it's so super nice, and everybody likes it. Maybe you eat it after work. And guess what? When you eat it, you feel, man, this thing is, I love it. All right.
Yeah.
So you now look at, okay, if I don't buy from this brand, because now the price has gone up, there's inflation already, it's known. Maybe I'll
Yes.
go and buy, maybe what's the name? Maybe meat pie. And meat pie is even times two. So why don't I just,
Make by 500
you
naira.
understand what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying? So, I don't, yeah. So it's quite more expensive. So you look at it, okay, because there's nothing you can do about inflation. All
Hmm.
right. When there's economic downturn, there's majorly nothing you can do. But people really want to say, okay, this thing is nice. And also, this person I'm buying from, I'm loyal to this person. I don't mind adding 10 naira extra to buy
Correct.
this thing. You understand? So that's where customer service comes in. All right. So now, if you have a good customer service, some people, there's one thing we are working on, especially when it comes to helping businesses in Nigeria. Some people, you call them about business. When I was in Nigeria a few weeks ago, you know, they pick calls, and even their customer service. Who be this? We're like, am I not calling Business, you know what I mean? Like, who be this? So even that thing even pisses you off. All right. Now let me give you a model of that really worked in Nigeria. All right. There was a time people used to go. Let me just tell you value so that you can
Yes.
understand value. There was a brand in Nigeria. I don't want to call the name. All right. The when Computer Village was a L of a place, right? Where people, you know, when you go there, when you return their
It's
phone, they say no, you
rowdy.
can't return phone. And comes the brand name. Their logo is red summer. And guess
Mm.
what? They said, okay, how can we do it? And we do it that when people buy phone, and if anything happens, they return it and we'll collect it. Because of that, the business model blew in
Balanced.
value.
Sort of balanced, yes.
Everybody started buying. If it's not from them, people don't want
No,
to buy.
you're not getting
You
me.
understand what I'm saying? So they made a lot of money. So that's it. You understand? So you have to look at some business model and say, okay, what value am I providing? What if they buy something and I collect returns? That one enough. Trust me. People say, no, when you won't buy, just go that place. Those no, that man, no, that man. That's value. So if they're not getting value, they can't return the phone, and still yet you're still increasing. They just say no.
You're not a
You
serious
understand?
person.
And that's the truth. So that's how you weigh value. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
And that's how you even have like a niche when you're selling your market and say, okay, we accept phone back or we accept returns, 7 days returns. Some people might violate it. So even if they violate it, you can now reassess it and say, okay, that's when you now go back to the drawing board, research and say, okay, how can we do it another way? You understand what I'm saying? So when you talk
Yeah.
about research, it could be you and your wife, or it could be you and your husband, it could be you and your friend, or it could be you alone sitting down and reassessing it, or you're talking to a business coach, or you're
Mm.
listening to a show like this to learn, understand this concept. So it's very, very important to take note of that.
Now,
So, um, yeah, please go ahead.
you go ahead. You go
Okay,
ahead.
so yeah, so now, so when I'm talking about the marketing strategy, now let me give you an example right now. I'm going to do another one because I really, a lot of people really don't understand the concept of marketing. All right.
Mm.
When it comes to business development. All right. So now let me give you an example. So now let's just say this wristband, just a rubber band, right?
Yes,
So
yes.
now let me just get this rubber band. All right. And I say I'm selling it for 5 naira. All right. So guess
Mm.
what? Then I call somebody like Davido, Whiskey, and tell them, you know what? Wear this rubber band and say, everybody, make sure you buy this rubber band on the Oshodi, via Oshodi Nigeria
Platform.
Limited. You
Yes.
understand what I'm saying? Buy it for nothing less. It's worth 100 naira. You understand what I'm saying? I've already
Yeah.
calculated that, okay, it's worth 5 naira. I can sell it for 5 naira. But if I'm going to let Davido and Whiskey do it, all right? So
It will
to
blow
shout,
up.
make it will blow up. So now I've calculated it, okay, per each one, let's just say, let me add 1990 naira on it. All right, that's the value of the advert and marketing. I've already 1990 naira on each, and I'm selling it for 100 naira. So I'm making 10 naira on the value of this thing, and I've already paid for them to do a shout out. Guess what? It will blow. All the youth will say, mom, I want to wear this. The video wear it. Whiskey wear it.
Like
And
a
that's it.
certain burger.
Then you are making a lot of money just because of a shout out and somebody identified. So marketing is the lifeline of a business. You understand what I'm saying? So another thing is marketing and sales. If you're a kind of person that acquire customers, maybe not local customer, maybe you're maybe a medium scale business. So how would you be a business that is in medium level that you're dealing with other organizations, maybe top organizations, and you don't have a CRM tools? Most business, I've actually been to a business when I came to Nigeria, and they don't even have a CRM tools. So there are
What's CRM?
salespeople, they write in the paper, customer relations management tools.
Management.
You know,
So let's be
yeah. So
clear.
yeah, so they don't have this software whereby okay, when you send an email or make a phone call to a customer, you log it in. A lot of people don't even know what that is. So sales team are just writing the paper and say, okay, we want to go and visit so person. They don't even understand these things, which is really bad. So you cannot even keep track. So even if one of your sales team gets fired, there's no data. So data is life. That's what we used to say so if you don't have data, okay, how many customers did you guys reach out to? Who did you call? What was the reply? So that when another salesperson comes in tomorrow, you can continue where the other person stops. And these
So
CRM tools are not really that
it's
expensive,
plug
trust
and
me.
play.
It's just plug and play. They've
So
already done the major thing. All you need to just, and subscription might be as cheap as nothing. You might even get free trial. If people talk to me. So these are not, so
it's
sometimes,
not hard.
we just need to do the right thing. And trust me, business is actually sweet when you understand the concept and the structure. And I just imagine a human being without a bone. You're just like useless. So the bone is the structure of human beings. That's what makes you structure. That's what make you, because you're just skeletons, right? So just
It's
remove
spinal cord. Your spinal cord is helping you to move.
it.
Hold on a second.
Yes.
Good morning to
Yes,
you,
please.
Oshodi. I listened to the radio program. It was about retaining customers. You talked about the price of granite. The speaker is very sound and knowledgeable. And my his response about having data of almost all your customers and as always and always carry them along in the event of price increase. Kudos, Tapa Oshodi. When your father decides that it's this morning that he wants to listen to your radio, you have to read. So that they're not the story you have told. Now, quickly, how so far in having to see different businesses, what are the common mistakes that businesses can avoid, not make, or can avoid?
Okay. There are a lot of mistakes that businesses make. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, you said can avoid, right?
Avoid.
So when it
Yes, can
comes
avoid.
okay, so can avoid
Mm.
is not having wait, let me, when you say that,
Yes, now
I don't want to
you
say
should avoid
mistakes they
it
can make. They should
because we're
avoid it.
already making
So
mistakes already. So let's avoid
okay,
it.
okay, okay. So to avoid, it's very, very
Mm,
important. Your finances, your finances, your finances. So a lot of
okay.
people, they always dabble into their business finances. All right. So maybe they're not making it now, but they need to avoid that touching their business finances. Just because you're making 10 million naira right now does not mean you now, best time to start to quickly increase and buy a new office. And mm-mm, mm-mm. It's always very, very important to understand. You understand what I'm saying? So another thing is your digital footprint
Footprint.
is very, very important.
Mhm.
Do not, always address. So if a customer or whoever, maybe make a statement or something about, oh, well, I bought something for this person and this
Mm,
is negative, go after the person and probably, if possible, reach out to them and say, okay, how can we make it better? All right.
okay.
So you need to make sure, maybe I want to be sure I'm really putting the right word.
Yes,
So now you want
finances,
to be,
your digital
yes,
footprint,
finances.
feedback.
Yes, feedback is very, very important,
Mm,
and finance is very important. Another thing is customer service.
yeah, quickly.
You understand? If customer service is everything. So make sure your customer service is 100%. Even if possible, if you can have a, a mobile phone or a SIM card. I think mobile phone is cheap now or something that is different, some different phone that you used to receive calls so that you don't, you want to
Mix it up
avoid,
with your
people.
personal.
Yes, you want to avoid, picking up calls and saying, hello, who is this? How can I help you? You know, it feels like, okay, I'm not buying it. It'll be like, am I not calling a
Okay.
business? It's very, very
Yeah,
important. So
that's
when
nice.
people call, understand, last but not the least, is very, very important, avoid, and I'm saying this, avoid data leaks. We look at it small like other. It's very, very important. If you are a kind of business that have, people's data with you, make sure you keep it safe. That's your lifeline.
Yes.
When it comes to that, that's just my take. Yeah.
Thank you very much,
Thank you.
Jay. Thank you so much. And
All
to
right.
everyone who is listening, you can go back to sleep, don't worry. Who is listening? Thank you, thank you,
All right.
thank you very much. Till we come your way again next week, Saturday, like we always say on Signals, dream again, create opportunities for people, and people will be people. Keep creating opportunities. Have a wonderful week. Happy resumption week, and God bless. Cheers.